I knew about this. I volunteered last year. I brought some people from my high school last year to the conference, and they really enjoyed it. There were a few people who weren't actually into being green, but they were my friends, and I got them to come, and they thought it was really cool.
I am here at the conference because I study sustainable development and am constantly theorizing about climate change issues, and I wanted to come learn tactical tools to use to help tackle that problem.
I'm also very passionate about helping with climate change. Like yourself, I was also in New York City last summer at the People's Climate March. So this kind of marks one of my most significant in climate action participation. And so I'm happy to be here.
I tried to adhere to sort of common sense standards.
The building tours, the tiny house and the straw bale houses, and also the time banks and mutual aid seminar.
The retrofitting of the houses, there was a lot of information that I got from that for things that I would like to try to do with my house because it needs a lot of work.
Climate change is real and caused by human activity.
I think we all go into this knowing that environmentalism is in some sense a crisis discipline and that there could be a lot of pessimism behind it, but I think stuff like this in this conference really helps build optimism behind it and seeing that other people are working on these same projects and caring about these same things, and it helps take this crisis discipline and make it into feasible action, and I think that's why I'm really happy to be here this weekend.
The sense of community and support, it's really nice to find people who are so like-minded and who are motivated and, want to work really hard. I was just in the intergenerational panel, so we were essentially saying, this is what we're having problems with. Can you give us advice? And what people said was really, really valuable to me. I think it goes a long way, just getting advice from other people, talking, getting support. That means a lot to me.
But we in Ohio, if it's coming to your community, Columbus is another area where they were going to put a facility, Youngstown. They'll tell the people that, don't worry, it's strict. You've probably all heard it. The state of Ohio has the strictest regulations that there are.
Yes, we are facing very different problems than older generations have faced, but the advice is invaluable. And even though it might be different and that generation faced different issues, we can still use the experiential knowledge that they have to go towards solving these problems. We'll have to take different approaches than they've taken, but it will be helpful in integrating and creating real solutions.
A lot of times the people who first gravitate toward the time bank are people who all want to help.
Personally, for me, I very much enjoyed the timeshare concept, and I think that could be applied to a freshman class scale at Kenyon.
But whenever I play the yarn game, I realize we always end up offering and requesting things that are totally different from what we're thinking of when we go set up our account.
To tackle climate change, I'm planning on building an intentional community that wants to address these problems, that cares about each other and the earth and all of its complexities and beautiful problems to face this and save each other.
What Dancing Rabbit is doing is restoring a little pocket of the commons. We need to be doing that on a much bigger level and getting away from privatizing everything.
Dancing Rabbit is pretty inspirational. The way that they work together and live together on a small scale, but also they have a big impact. Where they're living, and then just knowing that things like that are successful and can happen gives me a lot of hope as a student, hoping to go into the world and live that way. But I'd love to intern at an intentional community just to get a feel for that sense of community. That's such a foreign concept, I think, in modern society, and getting back to that would be really nice.
And I see nature as being a full solution to much of this.
Information is power. The more you can learn, the more you can go to these different seminars and conferences and learn more, then we'll be on top. Yeah, we'll be able to teach others and share our knowledge.
Was just that one day I will want to have children, and I want them to live in a safe world and a predictable world. And I want them to have all the opportunities that I have and that my parents have had. And I want to instill that for everyone else to come.